Good evening. Reverend Rose Levant-Hardy, Levant-Hardy. My wife, Randy, and our son, Quincy. I'm the assistant pastor of Liberation in Truth Unity Fellowship Church in Newark, New Jersey. I'm here wearing many hats as a female clergywoman who has performed holy civil unions. And I say holy civil unions because we are clear who we belong to, that God loves us just the way that we are. And in fact, when you find your spouse for life, it is because God has sent them to you. My wife and I celebrated a civil union on May 19th, but we have become very aware that we do not have full-fledged federal protections. We do not have benefits that would keep our family fully protected. Our civil union, though it provided some benefits, which we are very grateful for, is not marriage. We still, as a couple, have experienced separate, unequal, discouraging, frustrating, and insulting treatment. We've had to do what we call educational seminars. When we purchased a house a few short months ago, we found ourselves explaining to mortgage brokers, bankers, real estate agents, as well as lawyers, what we were, what civil union meant when we had to check off the box of what our relationship was when we were applying for the mortgage that we did in fact get. But I had to explain to the agent what that was. She smiled and said, "Oh, you're married." It's frustrating, but ourselves and the many couples that I counsel, pastoral counseling for the couples that I have performed ceremonies for, the frustration of wanting to be sure that you're fully protected, fully understood. Our community embraces us. The school loved us. They understood who we were, and they respect us. But when it gets down to some nitty-gritty things that would really protect us legally, we find ourselves trying to figure out, can we budget for the financial expense of getting lawyers to protect us and our family? We don't have that kind of income. And in fact, the community that I serve in Newark and Essex County, the people, the faces, if you would see my church, the many children that are in my church, they live in fear that they will not be able to afford the things that many more affluent community members in our community can take care of, and making sure they're protected. We just don't come from that socioeconomic class. We're very clear that we deserve the same rights to marry as everyone else does, that God cares about our relationships the same way God cares about heterosexual relationships. We make the same commitment, we have the same responsibilities to each other, we deserve the same rights and responsibilities under the law that married couples have. I'm oftentimes asked by folks, is this a civil rights issue? And I'm a historical kind of cat, and I also stand on the shoulders of some very proud African-American ancestors. And my mom shared with me two quotes that I'd like to share with you when it comes down to civil rights and marriage and the history of it. In 1858, a quote from a North Carolina judge referring to marriage between two slaves. Their relationship is essentially different from that of a man and woman joined in lawful wedlock. And in 1960, a quote made at the hearing of Loving versus the state of Virginia about interracial marriage. This sort of marriage is not in the best interest of children. God has a plan for marriage, and this isn't it. Marriage survived slaves being married. Marriage survived interracial marriages. I urge the state legislature to change the law to include the word marriage. Our cities, our communities, our state, our country, you'll survive. History says so. Thank you.
Thank you.